Hey, Coach, how you doing? Well, I want to start off asking about Devonta Parker. What does his reinsertion in this lineup do for this offense?
I mean, it creates a lot of defensive issues outside. He does a good job blocking in the run game. He's got a lot of experience to help out to the guys in the meeting room. He hasn't necessarily been there every day because of his treatment and making sure he's trying to get on track to get back in the lineup. So just having his experiences, and his productivity out there is definitely a helpful thing for our whole unit.
Travis?
Hey, Coach, good morning. My question was kind of in that same vein, but I was curious about the back shoulder balls that you guys hit to the Parker on Sunday. I was just curious about how that process plays out. Is that pre-snap? He knows he's going back shoulder? Is it an adjustment post-snap? How does that work out for Tua Parker?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think you just throw it to the guy and let him catch it because he's done that and he's proven that in his career. And there's a lot of evidence on tape of guys that have his ability that just get up there and catch the ball, whether it's behind them, in front of them, a jump ball. So as many times as we can get the ball in his vicinity, we like it. But as you're dropping back and, you're ciphering what's going on defensively, before you get ready to throw that ball over to that player, it's all about where the defender is and how I want to place that ball really on every route. So, a lot of times on in cuts, you see them throwing low, and that's really to save the guy from a headache of a guy coming there to knock him out. And it's the same thing on the sideline. A guy's playing the ball deep, then you want to throw the ball, where it's in a position for just our guy to get it. So a lot of that, plays into Tua seeing the defense, post snap.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, drive safe.
Will do.
Joe?
Excuse me. Hey, George. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
In what areas do you feel like maybe the offensive line group is going in the right direction over the last three or so games?
Yeah, and I've kind of mentioned this really throughout the year is we've had some moving parts there, and putting back Michael Dieter in there at center. So there's trying to get him back going again and getting the communication inside out. That's where it starts. It starts with the center identifying the defensive front and the structure and who they're going to, and then making sure that group plays with as much consistency as possible. So Mike will be a big part of that, getting the combination blocks and in the protection, making sure we're connected there with all the games that we will see on third down. So the tighter that group can continue to work, the better off we'll be. I know that we've had a couple sacks in the last previous games, but they are keeping the quarterback a little bit, balls coming out, but also keeping him upright, which is a big part of the passing game.
Unrelated, there was an NFL team that won a game last night with only 3 passing attempts. I was wondering if you'd ever been a part of anything like that, where you went into a game knowing that we're pretty much not going to throw it all.
No, it just seemed like it was a different game. Just looking at it, I think we weren't feeling it. But.
Thanks, George.
Go back to David.
Hey, Coach, what's the bye week like for you guys as coaches? Do you get a little bit of time off, or are you guys still as busy as normal?
I mean, I think every club is different, I'm sure, but there's obviously a lot of things that we need to work on and get better. So that's kind of what we're focusing on right now. Guys are coming in tomorrow, so we'll inform them on some of the things that we've looked at. We try to do that every week, but when the normal schedule of inserting a game plan, getting that together is not really at the forefront. It's kind of more of self-inspecting, calls, situations, how we're doing on techniques, tendencies that we might create, or have created. That type of stuff is a little bit, you can dive in a little bit more. And at this point of the year, there's a lot of teams that do have tendencies, and those teams are the ones that are doing their tendencies well. And so there's a lot of that plays into the game. You're not going to just all of a sudden stop throwing to a guy because, you've used them. Certainly defenses are going to get ready for him, but, usually that player is able to perform at a level to either get open or run the ball or block. And so a lot of that is kind of digesting a lot of information and trying to put it at a focal point for the players so that they can look at their one or two things during the off week that they can get better at.